Pronunciation?
Oh no, I'm not available.
It's Wednesday today.
Do you also find yourself pronouncing words like them? Well, if you do, then make sure that you watch this video till the end. Hi there, welcome back to EngVarta. This is Vani, and today I will tell you commonly mispronounced 30 words. And along with the correct pronunciation, I will also give you a sentence and tell you why certain words are pronounced the way they are. So let's start with our first word. So let's start with our first and most commonly mispronounced word. How do you say this word? Pronunciation. Incorrect. The correct way to say this word is pronunciation. The pronunciation of this word is a bit tricky. Moving on to our second word. How do you pronounce this one? February. No, February. Repeat after me. February. The first R is not silent. February is the shortest month in a year. Moving on to our third word. How do you pronounce this one? Well, mostly people say it jewelry. I love to wear jewelry. Well, this is incorrect. The correct pronunciation is jewelry. Repeat after me. Jewelry. She loves to wear jewelry. Now moving on to our fourth word. How do you say this one? Well, people use it a lot when they go to restaurants and cafes to order coffee for themselves. So how do you say this one? Espresso? Espresso. Repeat after me. Espresso. The X in this word is pronounced as S. So it will be espresso. I need an espresso to start my day. Moving on to our next word. How do you pronounce this one? Nuclear. No, the correct pronunciation is nuclear. Repeat after me. Nuclear. They shut down the nuclear reactor. So how do you pronounce this word? Salmon. The correct pronunciation is salmon. Repeat after me. Salmon. The L is silent, so it will not be salmon, it will be salmon. We had grilled salmon for dinner. Moving on to our next word. How do you say this one? Quinoa. The correct pronunciation is quinoa. Repeat after me. Quinoa. Quinoa is known as a popular superfood. Moving on to your next word. How do you pronounce this word? Often. The correct pronunciation is often. Repeat after me. Often. T is silent, so the words will be often. I often go for walks in the evening. Moving on to our next word. How do you pronounce this word? Arctic. The correct pronunciation is Arctic. Repeat after me. Arctic. The Arctic is known for its harsh climate. Moving on to our next word. How do you say this one? It's a bit tricky, but then how do you say it? Genre. Genre. The correct pronunciation is genre. Repeat after me. Genre. My favorite genre of music is classical. Moving on to our 11th word. So how do you pronounce this word? Hyperbole or hyperbole? No. The correct pronunciation is hyperbole. Repeat after me. Hyperbole. Saying that he can lift a car is a pure hyperbole. Moving on to our next word. So how do you pronounce this word? Lingerie. The correct pronunciation is lingerie. Repeat after me. Lingerie. The lingerie was on sale. Moving on to our next word. So how do you pronounce this one? Subtle. The correct pronunciation is subtle. Repeat after me. Subtle, because the B is silent. So it will not be subtle, it will be subtle. He gave her a subtle hint. Moving on to our next word. So how do you pronounce this one? Suit. The correct pronunciation is sweet. They booked a suite for their honeymoon. Moving on to our 15th word. How do you pronounce this one? Receipt. The correct pronunciation is receipt. Repeat after me. Receipt. We were asked to submit the receipt on time. Moving on to our 16th word. So how do you pronounce this word? Affidavit. Well, there is no David in affidavit. The correct pronunciation is affidavit. Repeat after me. Affidavit. He was told to sign the affidavit. Moving on to our next word. How do you pronounce this one? Almond. The correct pronunciation is almond. Repeat after me. Almond. L is silent, so the pronunciation is almond, not almond. I love to have almond milk in my coffee. Moving on to our next word. So how do you pronounce this word? Archipelago. The correct pronunciation is archipelago. Repeat after me. Archipelago. Archipelago is a chain of islands. Moving on to our next word. How do you pronounce this word? Antarctic. No, the correct pronunciation is Antarctic. Repeat after me. Antarctic. The Antarctic region is very cold. Moving on to our word number 20. How do you pronounce this word? Cache. The correct pronunciation is cache. Repeat after me. Cache. Clear your system's cache to improve performance. Moving on to our 21st word. How do you pronounce this word? Coup. The correct pronunciation is coup. P is silent, so the word is not coup, it is coup. The coup was swift and unexpected. Moving on to our next word. How do you pronounce this word? Epitomy. The correct pronunciation is epitome. Repeat after me. Epitome. She is the epitome of grace. Moving on to our 23rd word. How do you pronounce this word? I am sure you know it. We have been using this word since childhood. So how do you say it? Etc. Incorrect. The correct pronunciation is etc. X is pronounced as et. So the correct pronunciation is etc. They have books, pencils, papers, pens, etc. Moving on to our next word. How do you pronounce this word? Hierarchy. Hierarchy. The correct pronunciation is hierarchy. Repeat after me. Hierarchy. The company's hierarchy is complex. Moving on to our 25th word. How do you pronounce this word? Is it your favorite car? So how do you pronounce it? Lamborghini. The correct pronunciation is Lamborghini. Repeat after me. Lamborghini. Ram has a yellow Lamborghini. Moving on to our next word. So how do you pronounce this word? It is a bit tricky, but still, give it a try. Psoriasis or psoriasis. The correct pronunciation is psoriasis. Repeat after me. Psoriasis. P is silent. Psoriasis is a chronic skin condition. Moving on to our next word. So how do you pronounce this word? Sherbet or Sherbet. The correct pronunciation is Sherbet. Repeat after me. Sherbet. R is silent. We had orange sherbet for dessert. Moving on to our next word. How do you pronounce this word? Debris. Incorrect. The correct pronunciation is debris. S is silent. So the correct pronunciation is debris, not debris. There was a lot of debris left on the riverside. Moving on to our next word. How do you pronounce this word? Rondevu. Incorrect. The correct pronunciation is rendezvous. Repeat after me. Rendezvous. They had a secret rendezvous at the cafe. Moving on to our last word, word number 30. How do you pronounce this word? Segway. Repeat after me. segue. The conversation provided a perfect segue onto the next topic. Well, this is a wrap on today's video. I really hope that this video helps you out in your English learning journey. Remember, practice makes perfect, so don't forget to practice daily. You can also download the EngVarta app for your daily practice. Well, if you enjoyed this video, then give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Subscribe the channel for more such content. And if you still find any words confusing, drop them in the comments below and we will take it from there. I will see you very soon in my next video. Till then, bye, take care and happy learning.